Have you ever told yourself, this is the last time, and then a few hours later, you're doing that exact same thing again? Whether it's scrolling on your phone at 3 a.m., grabbing just one last chip from the packet, or telling yourself, okay, this is my final cigarette, and then lighting another one, we've all been there. But have you ever wondered why quitting something that we clearly know is bad for us feels so impossible? Let's be honest, it's not because we're weak or lazy. It's because our brain is quite literally built like a mischievous toddler that's obsessed with candy. And that candy is dopamine. See, dopamine is this tiny chemical in your brain that's responsible for pleasure, motivation, and reward. Every time you do something that feels good, eating chocolate, watching memes, or even hearing the notification sound of your phone, your brain releases a small dopamine hit. It's like a little, "Congrats, you did a good thing" message. Now, in the past, like caveman times, this dopamine system was actually a survival mechanism. Imagine a caveman named Rajesh. Just go with it. When Rajesh found some berries, hunted a deer, or found shelter, his brain released dopamine to reward him. The cave brain basically said, "Nice job, Rajesh. Do more of that so you don't die tomorrow." Fast forward a few thousand years. Rajesh is gone, but his brain is now ours. The only difference is, our modern berries are Instagram likes, Netflix, caffeine, sugar, and nicotine. And our brain doesn't realize these things aren't helping us survive. It just knows, hey, this feels good. Let's keep doing it. Now, the big problem starts when your brain gets used to something that gives you a huge rush of dopamine. For example, let's take social media. The moment you open an app, you get a flood of content. Videos, memes, comments, shares, all designed to keep your dopamine flowing like Niagara Falls. At first, it feels exciting. But after a while, your brain gets greedy. It starts saying, that small dopamine hit isn't enough. Give me more. So it demands stronger, faster, easier dopamine. And that's when the trap sets in. Soon, you're not even scrolling for fun. You're scrolling because your brain needs that hit. You're not watching another episode because the show is that great. You're watching because your brain feels restless when it stops. Addiction, in simple terms, is when your brain's reward system gets hijacked by dopamine. Imagine you train a dog to sit by giving it treats. At first, the dog sits happily because it gets a snack. But if you suddenly stop giving treats, the dog stares at you like, "Bro, where's my payment?" That's literally what happens in your brain. You've trained it to expect dopamine every time you do the addictive thing. Take that away, and your brain starts throwing tantrums. Craving, anxiety, irritation, mood swings, the whole package. This is why quitting feels so hard. Your brain is not fighting you, it's fighting for its dopamine supply. You're basically trying to win a war against your own wiring. And the brain? Oh, it's the most experienced manipulator you'll ever meet. Let's say you're trying to quit sugar. On day 1, your brain's like, "We can do this, no problem." Day 2, maybe just a little dessert? Day 3, listen, you've been good. You deserve that donut. By day 5, your brain's giving motivational speeches. Life is short, enjoy it. One donut won't kill you. And then there you are, surrounded by crumbs, wondering what happened to your willpower. But here's the twist. It's not about willpower. Willpower is like using a paper umbrella in a storm. It might hold for a few seconds, but the real force controlling you is much deeper. Let's see what really happens inside the brain when you repeat an addictive behavior, smoking, gaming, binge watching, anything. Your neurons create a pathway for it. The more you repeat it, the stronger that pathway becomes. It's like carving a shortcut through a jungle. At first, it's just grass and twigs, but after walking the same route again and again, it becomes a clear road. Your brain learns, oh, we do this when we're bored, or we do that when we're stressed. These pathways are called habit loops. Cue, routine, and reward. Something triggers you. The cue. You perform the action, the routine. You feel pleasure, the reward, and then your brain locks this pattern in because it thinks it's helping you. So when you try to quit, your brain freaks out because you're breaking its favorite road. It doesn't know how to reach pleasure anymore. That's why addiction isn't just about craving, it's about identity, comfort, and even emotion regulation. Some people think addiction is only about drugs or alcohol, but modern addictions are everywhere. Phones, sugar, gaming, even productivity. Yes, some people are addicted to feeling productive. Ever met someone who can't sit still for a day without feeling guilty? Yep. That's dopamine too. The brain doesn't care what the source is as long as it gets fed. The crazy thing is, over time, your brain's baseline level of dopamine drops. That means things that were once enjoyable, like listening to music, walking outside, talking to a friend, start to feel boring. Because your brain has been so spoiled by the instant dopamine hits, regular activities just don't do it anymore. So you keep chasing bigger hits, more caffeine, more scrolling, more gaming, and before you know it, you're in the cycle again. Here's a fun comparison. Imagine you're used to watching movies in 4K Ultra HD surround sound. Then one day, someone asks you to enjoy a silent black and white film. It's not that the film is bad, your brain has just adjusted to higher stimulation levels. The real world now feels dull. That's what addiction does. It tricks your brain into believing that normal life isn't enough. So if quitting feels impossible, it's not because you're broken. It's because your brain has been reprogrammed. But here's the good news. That same brain can also be rewired back. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change its structure and connections based on experience. Basically, if your brain learned the habit, it can unlearn it too. The process is uncomfortable at first because you're starving your dopamine system. You'll feel restless, irritable, and sometimes even lost. But over time, your brain finds balance again. Think of it like resetting your taste buds. If you stop eating ultra-sweet foods for a few weeks, suddenly even fruit tastes amazing again. The same thing happens with dopamine. Once you reduce overstimulation, your brain starts appreciating smaller joys again. But to make that happen, you've got to stop giving in to the easy hits. The trick isn't to fight your brain, it's to retrain it. Replace the addictive activity with something healthier that still releases dopamine, like exercise, cold showers, music, nature walks, or learning something new. These things give slower but more stable dopamine, and they build your tolerance back to normal. Of course, your brain will still try to negotiate. It's going to whisper, hey, what if we just check Instagram for 2 minutes? Or, you've worked hard, let's relax with one reel. That voice never really goes away. But each time you ignore it, those old pathways weaken a little more. You're not trying to destroy addiction overnight. You're teaching your brain new routes to reward. So the next time you think quitting feels impossible, remember this. You're not losing a battle with yourself. You're winning back control over your brain's programming. Addiction is a chemistry problem, not a character flaw. And once you understand the chemistry, you stop blaming yourself and start playing smarter. Because at the end of the day, your brain isn't your enemy. It's just a very energetic toddler that needs proper guidance and maybe a nap. Let it rest from those non-stop dopamine fireworks and watch how life starts feeling exciting again, naturally, not artificially.